Hello, I'm Jackson Bird, and today I am trying to be a booktuber. I'm not, but I read 43 books last year, and I want to talk about them. No, I did not hit my 50 book goal. Me actually achieved something I set out to do. This video is not sponsored, though I did receive a couple of these as ARCs or for panels that I was on. But hey, Audible, Penguin, Warby Parker, hit me up! I'm a booktuber! So this year I paid more attention to reading books by authors of color or by people who are openly queer or trans. And I didn't do that great at it because this year I decided to read the Magicians series and the Raven Cycle and reread the Harry Potter series. And we all know how diverse those books are. Where's my laugh track at? Such diverse. Anyways, I did manage to read 9 books written by LGBTQ authors, as well as 16 books featuring LGBTQ main characters, and 10 books by authors of color, as well as 12 books featuring main characters of color. For 2017, I am doing the Book Riot Read Harder Challenge. Here is my list so far. It basically gives you 24 prompts of like types of books that you should read. And the idea is to push you outside of your usual comfort zone in terms of genre and diversity and other things like that. Or just those things, basically. One thing that's not on the challenge that I'd like to read more of this year is books by people with disabilities. So if you have any recommendations for that, leave those down in the comments. And if you want to take the Read Harder Challenge, which I totally recommend, I'll leave a link to that down in the description box. And now, I want to talk about my top 5 books that I read in 2016. In no particular order, let's start with Lily and Duncan by Donna Gebhardt. I'm not usually a fan of books with trans characters written by cisgender authors, but I think Donna Gebhardt pulled it off pretty well. It is a YA book wavering on middle grade, so you get a lot of that like early gender dysphoria, self-acceptance, and innocence of that like preteenish age. Lily is a trans girl and Duncan is a boy struggling with bipolar disorder, which the author's son actually has, and it switches point of view chapter by chapter, so you get an interesting like first-person point of view, but also person learning to be an ally point of view for both of them, which gives you like a really cool effect. Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alier Sayens. I don't have a copy of this book or most of the books I read this year because I got it from my library, which people should do more of. It saves so much money and you get to support libraries and keep in touch with all the cool things that your libraries are doing. Win, win, win. Anyways, this book was incredible. It's about 2 Mexican teens trying to figure out their friendship and their identities, and it takes place in Texas in the 90s, so there's some cool pop cultural references as well. Although it was one where like what you want to happen doesn't really happen until the very end, but there's a sequel coming out sometime eventually. I read this book as part of the Harry Potter Alliance's Friends of the Apparating Library book club, which you should totally join. I will put a link in there down below. Also, the audiobook is read by Lin-Manuel Miranda, so you should get you some of that. P.S. Audible, please sponsor me. I'm a booktuber now. Look at me doing the booktube thing. This video makes it official. Give me them Audible books. Adaptation and its sequel, Inheritance by Melinda Lowe. These are the only 2 books to check off all 4 categories on my diversity spreadsheet, and I fell so hard into this world. It's a sci-fi, bisexual, kind of polyamorous book with some surprise gender fluidity talk at one point. It has government conspiracy, aliens, and awesome representation. That is literally all I need in my life. How to Make White People Laugh by Negin Farsad. I am a white person, and I laughed. Negin has done a bunch of cool stuff in her life, so it's kind of worth reading just to like find out about all the projects that she's done. But mostly, you should read it for some real talk on racism and Islamophobia with an ample helping of fart jokes. Lastly, Darling Days by Io Tale Wright. I fell hard for Io when I first saw him speak at a TED Women event a few years ago, which I almost turned down going to because I was in the closet and felt like I shouldn't be in a women's space. And suddenly, there was this beautiful genderqueer person speaking truth to a bunch of cis humbugs, and I tried so hard all night to work up the nerve to buy him a drink, but I never did, and now I just shared all of that online. Wow. Anyways, he is a photographer and co-host of MTV's Suspect, and all-around gender-defiant badass. And I just loved reading a memoir by someone for whom gender has always been like NBD, but also the biggest D. And I mean D as in deal, but also as in, do I want the D? It is an awesome look at capital R real life in New York City in the 80s and 90s. I sped through this book in 2 days and kind of want to make it required reading for everyone I know. Like, it is a good book. Also with like hella trigger warnings. Tough stuff covered, but so good. So those are my top 5. If you want to check out all of the books that I read last year, you can go to my Goodreads profile, where I've also got a list going of trans-related books that I personally recommend, as well as my own trans TBR list. That's to be read for all of you non-booktubers out there. What are some of your favorite books that you read in 2016? Or what books with diverse authors and characters do you recommend the rest of us read? I am presently addicted to making lists of books that I will probably never have the time to read, so let me know in the comments. And if you support diverse books, give this video a share to spread the good word, and not at all because I want more subs. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.